Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to lead you through all levels yoga. We will practice yoga together for 45 minutes today. And just a reminder to listen to your body through the practice. If any stretches do not work for you, please skip them, come on out and modify. Things that you'll need for your class today is it'll be nice to have a yoga mat. I enjoy practicing yoga with a block and blanket. So if you have that, that's great. If you can easily grab that, that's fantastic as well. But it is not a necessity to have those throughout the practice. So nice support if you have it, but if you don't have it, no biggie. As we go through our class today, I wanted to do a little spring inspired yoga flow. So today we have spring and our first day. And, spring is this really wonderful time. We just came out of the winter. I'm in New England, so winters can be really hard and dark and kind of heavy and cold. And spring represents this time of releasing things that are not serving you, releasing the past season. It's also about, spring, planting seeds, right? It's also about, planting seeds for the future, thinking about the things that you want to bring into your life, the goals, the dreams that you may have. So as we go through class today, I always love starting with an intention. So maybe think on that a little bit. Maybe there is a goal, a dream, a desire that you have. There's some healthy habits, positive habits that you can start to do, aka planting the seeds so that, those will come to fruition for you. And also, maybe there are things that you could release and let go of too. And today's a really great day to do that. And so as we're going to do our spring inspired class, I also wanted to focus a little bit on twists because twists are really great for detoxing the body and also good for flexibility as well. And, maybe we've been a little stagnant through the winter, haven't moved quite as much, but when it gets to be a bit warmer with spring and summer, we tend to be a little bit more active. So I think this detox yoga flow will be perfect. So let's take a comfortable seated position today. So if you'd like to sit on the block, you can do that. And with our block, it has 3 heights. And sitting on the block or blanket is nice because it helps to lift your hips a little higher than your knees. So that will just take a little bit of pressure off of the knees. It also helps your pelvis to roll forward a little bit, which can help to keep your back straight. And we're going to start with a little centering to drop into the practice, to drop into our body and our breath. So maybe taking that moment to close the eyes. Maybe do a bit of a scan of your body. Notice where you're holding onto tension. And then letting that tension go with the exhale. Let yourself drop in and connect with your breath. The gentle rise and gentle fall of the breath. And then lengthening on in-breath and lengthening on the out-breath. And then maybe encouraging your exhale to be a little bit longer than the inhale. Set an intention for practice today. And that could be anything. It might be that you wanted to connect it to our spring equinox. Maybe there's something that you can let go of. Maybe a habit that's not serving you, or a way of thinking, or an experience. Maybe intention is to release something. And then also, anytime we let something go, it's always nice to fill it in with something. And staying with that theme of spring, of planting seeds. Maybe there's something that you would like to bring into your life this season. And maybe just putting your energy and your awareness on that. Let's take a moment to gently circle the head. Imagine that there was a clock in front of you, And you wanted to run your nose through the numbers of the clock. As you do this, you'll just work your way into this very nice circling of the head and the neck to release tension. And reverse. Let's flow in the other direction. And release. Let's take a moment to realign the back of the neck. Right hand comes off towards that left leg and left arm reaches up and over. Let's bring ourselves into a bit of a side stretch here. And as you come to the side stretch, really ground into that left sitting bone and find length through the left side of your body, through the arm, through the fingertips. And we'll bring ourselves back to center, realigning here. Left hand to the right, so arms will be crossed. Chin to chest on exhale around your back body. And then almost imagining that you can create a little bit of space here in between the shoulder blades. Left hand stays where it is, right arm up and over, back to a side stretch. We'll land on the other side this time. Get nice and anchored down in the right sitting bone. We don't want to be leaning off to the left too much. So get nice and grounded here. And back to a neutral spine. Right hand to your left leg. Arms will be crossed and chin to chest. Exhale, round. Try to relax the back of your head and the back of your neck as best as possible here. Unwrapping the arms, hands are going to sweep to the sky. Hands come out nice and wide. Hands into prayer and hands to your heart. So let's go 2 more times here. Breathe in and out. 1 more time, inhale. And circling in the other direction from here, fingertips to the sky. Arms will sweep out and around. Great, let's release that one. We're gonna come on forward into table position. So as you sit up in table, if you'd like to grab a blanket, you can do that. Maybe pad the knees a little bit. Take our knees, our hips in line, wrists and shoulders in one line. And feel the fingers fan out nice and wide here. So we want to press down through the index finger and then also pressing down through the thumb. The right leg will extend behind you to start and take a moment to have your toes curled under and begin to press out through the heel and the back of the knee. So we're just going to start by warming up the legs with a little bit of a calf and hamstring stretch. Holding this one, maybe lifting up, leg will hover in the air. We'll try to have our heel in line with our hip. Now this one is going to build. Each variation will build on the other, so feel free to hang out in any spot that you'd like. Left hand reaches out in front if you'd like. Arm frames the ear, thumb to the sky. And as you exhale, let's bring our knee and our elbow to touch. We're going to do a round and a crunch. And lengthen. Hand in front, leg behind. Exhale, round. And let's go 3 more times here with the breath. When that feels complete, knee comes down and hand comes down. Gaze off your right shoulder. Let's look back for those right toes, bringing ourselves into a C curve for the spine. Bring yourself back to center. Let's lower the stomach down and lift up through the heart space. Core engages, neutral spine. Gaze off your left shoulder. Zipping up the core, neutral spine, and chin to chest around your back body. Good. Let's try that again. Neutral spine here. Gaze off your right shoulder. See curve. Neutral. Lower stomach. Lift the heart. Neutral. Gaze off your left shoulder. Back to center and chin to the chest. Good. Let's come back to a neutral spine. Left leg extends behind you. Toes are on the mat as you begin. Give yourself that opportunity to press out through the heel and the back of the knee. Heel lifts up. Let's take our heel in line with our hip. Staying here, right hand reaches in front, balancing tabletop. Holding stillness, maybe floating through some movement here. Knee and elbow touch on exhale, round. Find your length. Exhale. Great job. Let's go 3 more times here. Back on through to balancing table. Knee down, hand down for table, and child's pose on exhale. Let's bring our hips back to our heels and heart will float down to the ground. And then as you take child's pose, maybe just doing a little scan of the body here. Notice where you might be holding onto tension. And then letting that tension go with the exhale. When you're ready, let's come on up. We're going to float into table. Working with side plank on the forearms. This is a dolphin side plank. And if you're finding this to be challenging, lower your bottom leg down and have a little bit of support on this one. So we'll start by threading our left arm under. So your lower left arm will frame the top of your yoga mat. Now come onto the outer edge of your left foot. And then inside the feet come together. You can also stagger the feet. So on the outer edge of one foot and then the inner edge of the other foot. Now this is where that bottom leg can come down for a little less. Top leg can lift for a little more. Let's try this on the other side. So we're going to realign. Right arm grounds down. Outer edge of your right foot. Maybe stack the feet. Stagger them. Bottom leg lowers for less. Top leg lifts for more. And release. Let's bring ourselves back on through into a table position. Toes will curl under. Sit back onto the heels for a moment to open up the bottoms of the feet. This brings us into a toe stand. We'll take 3 nice deep shoulder rolls here. Take the shoulders up towards the ears. Find that large circle. Release on exhale. Good. Let's bring it forward into table. And you can tap the tops of your feet out on the mat. Give yourself a little release for those feet. Let's press it on up. We'll come to down dog on exhale. And shake it out a little bit here in down dog. Bend one knee. Bend the other knee. And relax that yes and no. Just shake it out. Try to release tension that may have built up through the day today. Down dog is a wonderful stretch for the legs, for the low back, for the neck. Really nice full body stretch, honestly. Let's bring it forward into a fold, toes to the hands. Shake it out here as well. So another nice full body stretch. Get into those tight hamstrings and calves. Feel free to bend into those knees deeply if you need to. Maybe bring your hands on the blocks if you need to. Always just making each pose accessible for your own body. Let's bring it into stillness. Take a half lift here, hands onto the shins, spine lifts and lengthens. Fold yourself down, core engages. Let's come on up. Hands at the heart on your exhale. So I wanted to work a little bit with our hips. We'll try a standing hip opener. If you're feeling like the balance isn't super steady, feel free to get close to a wall or a table or some surface for a bit of support. Right leg comes up and over for this one. So we'll create a figure 4 shape and then gently drop your hips back and down. Maybe hands extend to the sky. You can flex your right foot and gently encourage this right knee down. It might give you a little bit more stretch into your hip joint. Breathing here, maybe see if you can sink a little deeper into that knee, maybe hips soften down a little bit more. We're gonna come on down to standing split. So core engages, hinge at the hips. Take your right leg right on up to the sky. Relax your head and neck here. So a lot of times we think the head is relaxed, but we're holding a bit of tension. Try to let that tension go with each exhale. Knee into nose on exhale. Let's do a round, a crunch. Send your leg up, float it back. Exhale, round, up and back. 3 more times here. Take this one at your own pace. Maybe try to flow to the rise and flow to the fall of your breath. Back on through to standing splits. Right foot releases down, core engages. Let's take it to crescent. We'll work with a high lunge pose. So as you take this pose, drop in and connect with your breath. So we'll connect to the rise and the fall of the breath. Lengthening inhale, lengthening exhale. Let's bring it down. We're going to float back on through to standing splits. Right leg to the sky. Holding it this time. Gaze to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. Now we're going to try to unwrap this pose, landing back into our standing pigeon stretch. So core engages. Let's rise on up. Right leg comes up and over, figure 4. Hips will drop down and back. So we always love a balancing flow. It's really good for the standing leg. So it's great for strengthening all of the muscles through the foot, through the ankle, through the knee. So we strengthen those small muscles and also the big muscles. Let's come on down to a forward fold on exhale. So we'll release that leg, hinge at the hips and fold on down. Maybe reach for opposite elbows here and come into a ragdoll. So ragdoll, we just hang over the fronts of the legs, reach for opposite elbows, maybe shift to the right and shift to the left. And release. Let's relax the hands down. Half lift here. Lift the spine, lengthen the spine. Come on down. Rise up. Inhale. Hands at heart. Exhale. Left leg up and over. We'll do figure 4 on the other side. Maybe a little easier sometimes when we try a pose on the second side, the balance can be a little stronger. Maybe that hip stretch isn't quite as intense. So try to create this little sensation of gently opening the hip a little more too. So it's almost like a micro movement in this left hip of just rolling it down a little bit. You can also achieve that by drawing this knee, kind of pressing it back a bit. Maybe challenging yourself a little more, bending deeper into that knee on the right side. To come on out, we'll do our swan dive down for standing split. So hinge at the hips, left leg to the sky. Arms will sweep out and down. Now you may notice if you play with the weight in your right foot, you experience a different stretch. So maybe draw your weight into your toes. Send your weight back into your heel. Maybe take the right weight to the right or to the left. Let's try 5 crunches here. Knee to nose on exhale. Go at your own pace here. Just make sure that you're breathing in and out deeply. Back on through. Let's come to standing split. Float your foot down. Core engages, rising up. We'll land in our crescent warrior pose. Now, through the practice today, be very mindful of breathing in and breathing out through the nose. We'll try to avoid breathing through the mouth. That can activate the fight or flight response. So try to inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Let's bring our hands down. Runner's lunge. Left leg to the sky. Let's bring it to standing splits pose. Core engages, really ground into that right leg. Let's try to rise on up, coming into our figure 4 hip opener. Hips back and down. So hip stretches, always so important to incorporate them into the yoga practice. You find that you're sitting a lot or even very active in the gym or running, hiking, that can really tighten up the hips as well. So it's always good to give them a good stretch. Try to incorporate a little balance in the body. Let's come on down to fold. We're gonna release, hinge at hips. Come on down, ragdoll. Reach for opposite elbows here. Try to relax your head and try to relax through the neck. Plant your hands. Right foot comes back. Right knee will lower. Hands to the sky, knee down warrior. Anjane Asana. Maybe feel yourself on the upper part of the right leg, the right knee rather, and just see if that helps you drop a little deeper into your stretch. Hands are gonna come down. Left hand rises on exhale. Let's twist it out. And then as you're twisting on the in breath, feel your spine lengthen. Out breath, allow for the twist to deepen. Left hand plants. Right knee rises, runner's lunge. Right foot meets left, forward fold. Left foot hops back, runner's lunge. Left knee will lower, hands to the sky. Inhale. And then just seeing if you can drop your hips down a little bit more. See if you can get into the hip flexor and psoas on the left side. Let's plant the hands down. Right hand rises on exhale. Twist, knee down, twist. Imagine that you could stack and open through the shoulders. Feel the shoulders in line, wrists in line. One long line, fingertips to fingertips. Let's bring it back on through to runner's lunge. We'll take our left foot to meet right in a forward fold. Right foot hops back, runner's lunge. Left hand rises on exhale. Let's take our twist, runner's twist this time. Now, if you need to modify this one, right knee comes down, making it a little easier. That would take you back to our knee down twist. Let's plant the hands. Right foot meets left, forward fold. Left foot hops back, runner's lunge. Right hand rises when you're ready, twist it out. Try not to forget about your left leg. So we really want to activate that back leg. Press firmly through the heel and the back of the knee. Right hand plants, left foot floats forward. Bring it into a fold. We're going to twist here as well. Right knee bends, left leg is straight. Let's plant the right hand down. Left hand rises, twisting to the left. Now this is our twist, but we also get a really nice IT band stretch on this one. Try to roll your left shoulder back, right shoulder under. Hand lowers down. Keep your legs exactly how they are. Right hand up when you're ready. Twist. The legs stay how they are. This one might be a little bit more challenging. Sometimes closed twist is a little trickier to come into. Right hand lowers. Reset on the legs. Left knee bends. Left hand plants. Let's take that right hand up. So this is our open twist. Also that IT band stretch. Maybe see if you can take that right hip and roll it back a little bit. Get a little deeper stretch on this one. Reset back to center. Legs stay just how they are. Left hand rises on exhale, twist. Again, our closed twist, a little bit more tricky. And release. Let's put ourselves back on through to a fold. Bring yourself into your halfway lift. Come on down to a fold. We're gonna rise on up. Inhale. Hands at heart. Take a nice deep exhale here. Great job. Let's go to tree pose. Right foot begins to rise on up. You can be right on the toes of your right foot. Maybe bring your foot anywhere in the leg that feels comfortable. We just don't want to place right onto the knee joint. Hands can come up and overhead if you'd like. Now, as you take tree, right knee, try to see if you can roll it open a little bit more. Try to get a little bit more inner leg stretch, a little bit more hip opening. From here, let's step it open to a warrior one pose. Right foot floats back. Back heel is grounded down, hands to the sky. Nice deep bend in the front knee. Press firmly into your right heel. Press firmly into the outer edge of your right foot. Get a calf stretch, get a hamstring stretch here. Let's bring ourselves open to warrior two on exhale. You may have to realign and readjust your feet. Imagine that you could pull your feet in towards one another. Really activate your legs. Imagine that there were magnets on your feet and you could draw them into the center of the mat. Gently releasing, we'll work with pyramid from here. Hands can release and legs reset a bit. Right foot takes a hop forward. So not all the way to the top of the mat, but just a bit of a hop forward. Have a couple of feet in between the feet. And both of your feet are pointing forward. So especially this back foot, we're not having it at an angle at all. It's just forward, just how the left foot comes forward. Hand sweep up. Inhale. Let's come on down and fold on exhale. If the ground is feeling far away, maybe grab onto your blocks for support. And then if you wanted to give yourself a little bit more stretch here, you could play with the weight in the feet. Maybe draw more weight into your left foot, feeling that left hip lifting up. Maybe encouraging your right hip to come forward, left hip draws back. Balancing your hips and balancing the low back here. Right hand rises on exhale, twist. So that left hand, feel free to grab onto a block. Sometimes if you take your left hand out a little bit further in front of you, it can make the pose a little bit more accessible. Let's try to feel this nice open twist here, breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll try a twist in the other direction. So we're just going to swap out those hands. Now, as you're twisting, get nice and grounded in your right foot. So we want to press firmly into our heel and then the outer edge of the foot. Good. Let's release it. We're going to float ourselves back on through into pyramid. Right foot meets your left foot. Find a forward fold. Bring yourself into a halfway lift. Come on down to the mat on exhale, rising with the breath. Inhale, deep full breath. Hands at heart. Exhale. Left leg rises. Let's try tree on the other side. And as you take tree again, bring that foot anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable, maybe even bringing it up a bit higher. We do want to avoid the knee. So have your foot below the knee or above the knee, that's fine. We just never want to press it right onto the knee. And try to create this awareness of your body too. Sometimes when we lift this foot up, the hip will rise up. So make sure that the hips are even. Maybe imagine that the pelvis was a bowl of water. We wouldn't want to spill the water. So even off the low back, even off the hip. Let's come on through to warrior one when you're ready. Left foot floats back. Virabhadrasana Eka. And then as you get nice and grounded in that left foot and heel, gently encourage your left hip to spin forward a little bit. Left shoulder comes forward as well. And in time, imagining that your hips and shoulders could square the front of the room. Warrior two on exhale, open it up. And as you take warrior two, it does take a little time for the body to open, but in time, try to feel that the hips and the shoulders are squaring off to the left side of the room. But we also have to be careful because sometimes when we do this, our right knee will come into the center of the room, into the mat a little bit. So just make sure that your knee tracks in line up to the second and the third toe when you look down to it. Let's relax arms and legs. We're going to come into pyramid. Left foot takes that hop forward a bit. Hips and shoulders square to the front of your yoga mat. Back foot points forward, just how your front foot points forward. Hands reach up, breathe in. Let's come on down. We're going to fold it forward on exhale. And pyramid, also called intense side stretch pose. So maybe just notice in your body where you feel the stretch. What that feels like. Breathing into it. Maybe in the backs of the legs. Maybe in the low back. Maybe in the back of the neck as you let your head relax and release. Let's take our left hand up on exhale. We're going to try for an open twist to start. And try to breathe as easily as possible. Inhale and exhale through your nose. Reset yourself back to center. Let's take our left hand down. Right hand rises. Close twist here. You wanted to get a little more stretch. Maybe take your right hip crease and then gently draw it towards the back of your mat a little bit more. And release. Let's let that one go. So come on out on this side. We're going to work with lizard and gecko. We'll work with a really nice hip opener. So right foot will walk to the right side of your yoga mat. Both of your hands are on the inside of your foot. Left foot steps back. And then let's come into lizard or gecko here. So to make the stretch a little easier, you can bring your knee down. Whether the knee is up or down, you could be on your hands. You can drop down onto your forearms. And you can also take the forearms onto blocks as well. So you have a bunch of options here. And then as you're relaxing here into the stretch, maybe close the eyes. Try to relax the eyebrows and relax the jaw. Try to relax the back of the head and the back of the neck. Relax through the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Relax the upper, mid, and low back. And then relaxing legs and relaxing the feet. So let's begin to press down into the hands. Left toes curl under. Left knee lifts up. Left foot takes a big step to the upper left edge of the mat, both hands to the inside of the foot. Right foot steps back and trying this one on the other side. So being propped up on the hands, maybe come down onto the forearms and maybe take the forearms onto blocks here. So I know that this is a very intense pose for most people. Just try to breathe into the stretch. So this one is a wonderful hip stretch, great for your low back. Knowing that we won't be in this one forever either, just a moment or two. So you can definitely tap into your breath, let your breath support you in the pose. And in an intense stretch, it's always normal to hold tension. So maybe scanning your body, seeing where you can let some tension go, can be very beneficial. And then coming on out of this one, so to release, we are going to take it to table. So left knee will meet your right knee into table position. And circling out the hips a little bit here. So just a nice reset on the hips, maybe large circles, maybe smaller circles. And reverse, we'll just flow in the other direction. Let's come into plank. You can also take a knee down plank if you'd like. We're going to work into an up dog. So we'll hold our up dog, reverse push up to start, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Gaze off your right shoulder. Look back for your right toes. Let's come back to center, realign. Gaze off the left shoulder, back for left toes. Back to center. Let's press it back to down dog on exhale. Hips right on up to the sky. Knees will begin to lower. Table position. Sweep your feet to the right or to the left. And let's come on down to the ground. Knees will float to the chest. Arms, hands around knees or shins. A little rock to the right and to the left here. Maybe close the eyes and then just feeling this nice, gentle massage along the low back. Knees to the right. Let's come do a twist here. So we're just going to drop our knees off to the right. Left shoulder can relax onto the mat. Gaze off the left shoulder. And then allow for the eyes to close. And then just simply breathing here. So our spinal twist, Supta Matsya Anjasana. Our twist is so beneficial to the body for so many different reasons. Especially focusing on the spine and the stomach. When we twist, it's almost like this idea of when we wring a sponge out in the sink. So it's a great way just to give the organs a little bit of a massage and give the digestive system a little bit of a massage. And then we'll come back to center. Let's take our knees to our chest, hug them in, and releasing off towards the left when you're ready. Gaze off the left shoulder. Let your eyes close. Come back onto your back. Knees can come to the chest. A little bit of a rock to the right and to the left. And then bring that rocking movement into circular movement. So maybe find large circles here, maybe find smaller circles here. And reverse. We'll flow in the other direction. And then releasing here. Let's give ourselves a little time to relax in Shavasana, our relaxation pose of class. Legs can relax, arms can relax, knees can bend, feet can plant. If your low back seems to be a little tight or a little cranky, helps to relax the back muscles. This is a beautiful time to integrate the benefits of your yoga practice into your mind, into your body. Deepening breath, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling onto your favorite side, rolling to the right or rolling to the left. And then pressing up, we'll bring ourselves into a seated position. And then as you come into seated, hands can come to the heart in prayer, ending practice with gratitude. Thinking of something in your life that you are truly grateful for. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed the practice. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful spring day. If you are available throughout the week, I teach a bunch of different classes. Tomorrow I'll be back to teach mindful stretch, which is a really nice stretching practice for 15 minutes. That's at 3 o'clock East Coast time. So it's a really nice opportunity just to get away from the desk for 15 minutes and to do something really good for your body. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome.